Hello, my name is Caleb Smiley, and I'm interviewing for the Fowlerville Junior High School Band Director position. A little bit about myself. I have taught 4 years now in public school education. My first 2 years were at Johannesburg-Lewiston area public schools, where I taught K through 5 general music and 6 through 12 band. My second 2 years were at Reed City area public schools, where I've taught 5 through 12 band. Over the course of those 4 years, I've developed what I believe to be my vision for the complete band program, and I think I can summarize it in 3 major points. One, that my students feel comfortable in the band program. Two, that they feel highly successful in the band program. And three, that their voices are heard in the band program. There are many different ways that you can do this as a band director, and the first that I'm going to talk about today is repertoire selection. First off, in order to have a successful ensemble, you really need to be thinking about the needs of said ensemble. Think about what are their current skill sets. What are they strong on? What are they weak on? What do they need to learn to continue to become stronger and achieve higher level music? Where do you want them to be in 1 week, 6 weeks, 6 months, 1 year, so on and so forth? If you are thinking with a goals-oriented mindset where there's something to achieve for the students, they're going to be much happier. If you're only programming music based off of what music you like to play or listen to, or these are the pieces that are commonly played in the band world, then you're not really meeting your students where they're at, and so they're not truly going to be successful. You need to make sure that they're having a good time learning that music. Unsuccessful students means frustrated students, and frustrated students don't stay in band programs. Additionally, when you're selecting your repertoire, you need to be thinking about how is your music connected to other elements of the world. If you're choosing the same old composers over and over again with the same old compositional styles, you can't really think about what cultures are you not including. You got to make sure that you're showcasing to your students that there are many types of music that influence what we do, and there are many different subjects that influence what we do. There are pieces that talk about all sorts of events all over the world, whether or not be the sinking of the Titanic, or it could be a fictional story that somebody wrote and they wanted to bring to life through music. So there are pieces of music that talk about mental health and real world possibilities. If you are including pieces like that in your repertoire, your students are going to buy in immediately because it's relatable and it's interesting. It's not just music on a page. Instead, it is something tangible, something they can discuss and learn from. Moving on from repertoire selection. In order to have a successful program where your kids feel like they're included and comfortable, you need to think about your performance scheduling. In particular, how can you be as inclusive as possible when you're placing your concerts on a calendar? You need to think about what are they involved in? Are they involved in athletics, robotics, chess club, quiz bowl? Anything you can think of that might occur after school. Anything. If your students feel that you are including them in that decision making, as in you are thinking about them, then they're going to understand that it's not an us versus them mentality, and that band is a place for everybody. The moment you start putting your events up with their events, you are going to be creating a wall for those students that make them think they will not be able to stick around in your band program. It makes them like it less, and it makes them think that you don't care about them. The best you can do to fit them into that schedule, you got to do it. Once you figure that out and you've communicated that with all of those coaches, administrators, and secretaries, you need to communicate, set concert dates out to parents ahead of time, and make sure that they and the students know the attendance policies. Give them as many avenues for that information as you can so there is no way they can refute having received it. Send physical copies home with students. Email it out to parents. Post the Excel sheet link on the school website so they can see it updated in real time. Put it on the Band Boosters website, post it on the walls, do whatever you got to do, but make sure there's no excuse for somebody to have missed that information. Once you've done that with your performance schedule, you can start talking about recruitment and retention. This is one of the biggest deals as a band director and one of the most influential things we actually do. When thinking about recruitment, we're always thinking about the bottom level, the youngest members of our ensemble. Do not forget that those youngest members look up to the oldest members. Make sure that they see the high school band perform and hear about the high school band opportunities. Bring them in as often as you can. Create a bond and rapport between those students so that way you eliminate the fear factor. You want your young students to have a vision of who they are going to become and all the awesome things they get to do. They're very often stuck in the mode of thinking of this is all that's happening today, or this is today and tomorrow. They don't tend to think past that. If you can get them to think finally past that and create goals for themselves, you're going to find that they want to stick around to see what they can do. On top of that, show them all the instruments they might be able to play. You might not start oboe and bassoon at the youngest grade level, but if you show it to them, you're going to have a student that has that thought in the back of their head that they want to play the oboe or the bassoon, and they're going to stick around so that way they get to try it out. Make sure they know about those opportunities. Tell them about the French horn. Tell them about the euphonium. Tell them about the tuba. Make sure they know. Now, the next thing you got to make sure that you are doing is you got to tell them about trips and other opportunities. If they know all the cool things that they're going to get to do, not all strictly music related, maybe there's a band boosters trip to a Michigan's Adventure that's sponsored, they will be excited for that. That also happens to work with retention. Everything I've said all works for retention. But when you're thinking retention, you also got to think reliability and stability. Your students need to know what to expect in your band room. If they know who you are because you are showing an authentic version of yourself, and that person has that level of charisma that they are interested to learn more about you, they're going to have draw. You're going to find that they want to discuss things with you, they want to learn from you, and they're going to stick around. If you're putting up a facade and you are not acting organically, and you're not really showcasing who you are and what your interests are, and you're not creating a stable environment because you're trying to fake it to show off this other element of yourself, they're not going to like that. It's too fake. They read through it immediately. Additionally, you just got to be making it fun. If you're making the band program fun, kids are going to like it. They're going to like you. They're going to want to stick around. Of course, there's also many other points we could talk about, and we could be here all day, but I'll go ahead and cut it off there. I appreciate you listening. Thank you.